anything inherently weird about it, but because of the hall of mirrors we've been living in for the last 3 years or so, right? You walk towards somebody, remember this, we did this a million times, sing along, you know this, you walk towards the most ordinary thing in the world. You walk towards a person and to get their attention, the most ordinary, normal thing. How many millions of times do we do this? And now it looks kind of weird just because of all the situation. You'd walk towards, do you remember this? You'd walk towards it, do you remember? You'd walk towards the most ordinary thing, you walk, do you remember? Do you fucking remember? You walk toward it and you get their attention. Those ordinary, do you remember this? Most normal thing. You wet your finger and shove it in. And then you grind your hips up against theirs as they try to escape. I don't think that's ever going to come back. I think it's something we've lost forever. Only a memory exists now. And actually, we are left with the memories of where you went. I'll fucking tell you where I was. I was in America, did a tour that I don't think I did bring it to Preston actually. I didn't bring it here, obviously, but I did bring it to Preston. And I don't know if anyone saw that tour. I keep bundling you in together, because in my head, you know, when I did Preston, I go to the Pleasure Beach the following day. I keep kind of packaging you together. That's unfair, I get it, you're all your own people. But that's as close as I came to this part of the world. And then it carried on, the tour carried on for a while. Went to America, we did gigs in New York for the first time, very excited about that. Then was off to Canada for the very first time, very excited about that. And then was at one point, I was about to check in New York to go to Toronto, and this is the 12th of March 2020, when I got a text in the airport, genuinely going, don't check in. Do not check into the airplane. They're shutting the tour down. They're shutting Canada down. Do not go to Canada. Also, they're shutting New York down. Get the fuck home whatever way you can. It was the most insane text I have ever received in my life. It was like an episode of The Last of Us in text form, just sent to your phone. You're reading on, fuck me, that's a lot of plot. So I'm in the airport and I went, okay, I can't do that. And I got the bags and I went, right, I'll go to the other airport on the side of New York, JFK. There are 6 flights tonight to London. Maybe I can blag my way onto the one of them. I've never done that. I've never walked to it, gone straight. Can you do that? Is that just in movies that you can go to an airport and buy a ticket at the airport? Who does that? Can I even set up for that? Or maybe I can swap the ticket I have in a few weeks' time for a totally different room. Can I do that? Can I swap the tickets around? I know what I'll do. I'll go to the desk and I'll fucking cry. And I do it in proudly. I wept openly at the PA desk in JFK. I was like, please, I need to get home. My children are currently fighting for bags of rice being sold from a government truck in Trafalgar Square. And the woman in the desk was like, oh my God, that sounds awful. Like she was tap, tap, tap. Yes, she said, I can get you onto a flight tonight. I said, thank God, thank you so much. I need to get home as soon as possible. And then the woman looks at me and goes, that's just as well. I put you onto the first flight tonight. It leaves in 30 minutes. You'll have to run straight to the gate. And I'm on the other side of the desk going, I wanted a bit of dinner first. But I've gone too big. I can't now dial it back. I've made it look too urgent, and I have to sit there and just go, oh, great, and take the ticket off her, and for fuck's sake, there's 5 other flights. Oh, this one there. I had to run through the fucking security, going, for fuck's sake, this is ridiculous. And then, I would have had dinner there, or there's the duty free, or jeez, I got nothing for the kids. And I'm running through the airport, what the fuck is this? 5 other fucking flights, all the way down the fucking airport, down to it was the last gate in the terminal, all the way down to one end of it, and then down that tube, the jetway, down to the plane. They're holding the door, going, come on, and I go, oh, for fuck's sake, not going to have me take another plane. No, running down the tube, got to the plane, right, got to the final seat on the plane, one empty seat, next to some poor fucker, who until that second was going, lovely, empty seat, I played a fucking blinder tonight, this will be a comfy trip home. I was thinking, yes, I know, you're going 2 fucking empty seats, you're fucking playing a left, you're a legend. And he's literally taking these off his lap and placing them onto the empty seat when a fucking shadow suddenly appears over it. He looks up, sees me, the nightmare passenger, on the 12th of March, 2020. Sweat pouring off me. struggling to breathe, I sit down and go, oh, I'm hot. Are you hot? I'm so hot right now. I should have ever been this hot before. I'm so hot. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh, I can't breathe. I'm so hot right now. Oh, I'm scared. Hold my hand. And then come all the way home, and then the lockdown, the whole thing, and the arguments, oh my God, the arguments. I'm not going to read you any of the arguments, right? You can probably guess where I was on the arguments, right? Just because you probably know me as a bit of a nerd, and therefore, yeah, I was in science society, so but I'm not going to go through all that. All I'm going to say is that I learned a technique, a little life hack, a little strategy for arguments that I offer to you as a gift. Okay? Because it doesn't have to go with vaccines or masks or any of the fucking shit that rolled around for the last 2 years of COVID and all. But any discussion where somebody comes after anything in a kind of a, actually, I think you'll find, actually if you really look into it, actually you'll find, if you do your own research, actually you'll find, I really read up on this, actually you'll find, I know things that maybe you're not being told, maybe you're not being told, but I know this, I'm going to tell you this, actually, I'm going to tell you this, here's the thing, actually, I don't know if you heard it, but actually, here's the thing, actually, if somebody ever gives you that, you just look at them and go, can I stop you there? And you say nothing at all. Stand there in complete silence until they take their head and fuck off. The amount of times I've been in a conversation that wanted to do that. Anyway, look, here's the other thing. The reason I tell you about the Canada story, extra bit of that. I eventually did get to do that tour. It got cancelled because of COVID. We tried to organise it again 6 months later. It got cancelled again 6 months later. It got cancelled. It eventually happened last September. So in September of last year, we eventually got to do this tour. 2 years later, and it's all this is a bit ridiculous, but fucking we're going to do this tour. And I said, well, Jesus, what am I going to do? Am I going to do the old show, which I've fucking forgotten now, or should I do the new show, which I'm just doing at the moment, and start the new tour? And I thought, let's do the old show, because then I can come back the following year with the new show, and I look like a big fucking kid, right? That's fantastic, I'll do that, which is literally what's happening, right? So I went back to the old show, but I had this moment of like, well, fuck, I've not done the old show in a couple of years, and it's been a very, very event-filled couple of years, you know? I better read back over it, just in case anything reads a bit weird or different or wrong now after the time has passed. Anything that history would judge differently now. Always good to have a quick check over it that I haven't, left anything stupid into the show. Now I'm very lucky. There was nothing really in it that was in any way in it. Well, there was one routine in the old show about what's the best way to fuck a bat. That didn't come across as whimsical. I mean, it's a pity because it's a lovely routine, because it turns out the best way is 69ing. Because the bat just hangs there upside down anyway. You leave it. The bat Look, I just want to do, it's an old little large joke that, so I just want to, it's an old Ken Dodd joke, that one really, it really isn't. And those things, on the night I was here, the little large, I was standing and go, what's the best way to fuck a bat? And that is, why is this one came, yeah, because they're like, fuck you, you prick. No, legend. Anyway, no, none of that. But it was that. There was a routine, however, about Brexit, right? And I did go, for fuck's sake, how old is that now? This is 2022. This is the show that I started like in 2017. So by 2022, you go, okay. Even by 2018, people were tired of hearing about it. So I don't think I'm going to fucking resurrect the Brexit routine when I go to fucking Canada in 2022. That's got to fucking go, right? Now, this was a routine I did do in other places. I, for example, tour a lot outside the UK and Ireland. I'll tour across Europe, and I'll go to Scandinavia, or I'll go to, Benelux, whatever. But also, the very first time on that last tour, I did a show in Germany, right? Now, just to give you a taste of that routine, right? The routine in question, I'm not going to do it for you. It's from an old show, though, so I'm going to give you one line. This is a free gift from a previous show. It's not included in the ticket price for tonight's show. So none of you fuckers come at me going, oh, you loads of old show. Fuck you, don't know. You're in at the ass show. This is like previously on. Okay, that's what's happening here, right? there was an old joke, and to give you a sense of the taste of the routine of Brexit included things such as me going, look, I'm Irish, my wife is British, we live here, we're raising 3 children here, they're born here, so they're British in the naming game of these things. And I said this from the heart, I said, Brexit, it will break my heart. It will tear me in two. To leave them and take the faster passport queue. There are little faces going, why mother's following in the queue, and me going, this is what you voted for, this is what you voted for. You got your country back. If you can imagine how much I enjoyed telling that joke in 2017, can you fucking imagine how much I enjoy telling it now? I have obviously given myself a free, because you've been probably on holiday in Europe in the last couple of years. Fuck me. Have you had Irish people in the queue going, sorry, can I get past there? Can I get past there? Let me just go past it there. Sorry, I think no, I should just go on here now. I'm through. Goodbye. We're handling it very lightly. But I had this routine. I thought, fucking, I'll do it better. So I went to various places, including Germany. Now, you admit you have a number of attitudes about Germany which are quite interesting, right? But included in those is an idea that Germany, you couldn't do a comedy show in Germany. That's a very fucking commonly expressed thing in Britain, right? Or you couldn't do it. They don't have a sense of humour. They wouldn't recognise a joke. They take everything literally. They would just see the thing literally. They wouldn't recognise there was a second meaning. The Germans wouldn't get a joke. Just so you know, I went to Germany, did the show I was doing the last tour. They all fucking laughed at everything, same as any other audience, with one exception. They fucking loved the Brexit routine. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about this, but fuck me, they got off on the Brexit routine. I want you to know one thing, and I will be honest about this. I have been living here for 20 years. I'm married to a British woman, children and family here. Britain has given me greater opportunity than I could have possibly imagined. The chance to do all sorts of wonderful things. It's been a glorious experience to live here. You've been wonderful hosts. It's a pleasure to be in this country. But I want you to know that when I was over there, an Irish man doing a show in front of a load of Germans, I threw you fuckers under the bus. Without even a backward glance, I did not express any sentiment for your concern. I went, fuck that shit, let's go for the joke here, let's fucking nail this shit. Because the Germans were fucking loving it. They were like, oh, tell me more. And once I just said, well, that's the end of the routine, and they did it 9, all I want to hear about is the Brexit, how bad is it going? At one stage I said, fuck me guys, you're really getting off on this. And they're like, no. I had a moment, and I'll be saying I was very proud of it, and I lost a cuff moment on the gig itself when I saw their reaction to it. I said, Jesus, you're really loving this. And the Germans are going, oh, tell me more about the Brexit, tell me more about the Brexit. And I said, you should have a word in your language for taking joy from the misfortune of other people. Yes, I was fucking delighted with that, alright? So, very happy with that in a moment, but then thought, no, for Canada, why would I possibly bring that story? That'd be ridiculous. And I carried on, I rewrote the show, so I got to that bit, and I was talking to people in the audience, as I do, and I said, the woman in front row said, hello dear, what's your name? She goes, my name is Esther, she said. I said, oh, where are you from? This is a place called Moncton, New Brunswick, right? You may know it from episode 7 of Race Across the World. There's a raft trip, they all get really wet. That's Moncton, right? And I said, Moncton, New Brunswick, and I said, oh, well, are you from Moncton yourself? And she said, no, she said, I'm from Germany. And I said there, well, fuck me, Esther, here's a story just for you, right? And I did that story, and I got to the end, and I went, oh, I said so, you should have a word in your language for taking joy from the misfortune of others. And the Canadian also went, ha ha ha, clap, 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 clap. And then Esther, God love her, raised her hand, and I said, what is it? And she said, no, we do have a word. You fucking idiot, Esther. You took it literally. I told you not to take it literally. Twice the amount of work I've done to rehabilitate you fucker. Anyway, look, it's a pleasure to be here. That's a hello. How are you? I'm Dara. It's a delight to be here, ladies and gentlemen. It's this is as fucking long as Barrymore got, and I even said fucking hello yet. Hello to my front row. Hello, my front row. How are you? I'm going to go to you, chap, with the beard in the front row. What's your name, sir?
How are you, John? John, good for you for checking you had a beard. I like that. I'm enjoying the power of suggestion there that you were fucking dude. How are you rocking this look? No wonder you said turn into your party, you smashed all the beers. This is the thing I didn't want to have in the house, and now you've clocked me out and given me a silver fox up. It fucking suits you, John. Go for it, for God's sake. You enjoy the fucking beard, which is clearly new to you. John, are you from Blackpool yourself, John, are you? Good man yourself, and John, tell me what do you do, John? What do you do? Please tell me you're a carny, John. That's all I want to hear. We're in Blackpool. I want to hear two things. That you run the three. Let's make three. Let's fucking make it four. A carny, right? In other words, fucking, do you want to go faster? You sell erotic rock. That is a new thing. That wasn't around in 1984. You couldn't buy rock with Suck My Cock written through it. When I was a child, or if I did, my eyes were steered away from it very, very quickly, right? You do that, or, oh my God, you make wax for the fucking, I don't know what the fucking other thing I had in my head for things, for very characteristic jobs here in this part of, what do you do, John? What do you do, John? What do you do? You're retired, John. You're retired from making erotic rock. You're the guy who originally laid out the thing and said, look, I'm sick of writing Blackpool. If we just change a couple around, it says something completely different. So let's just change the letters ever so slightly. You're all trying to work out Blackpool. Yeah. Oh, fuck, naughty. Naughty. What were you, other than the erotic rock, what else did you do? What did you actually do? I'm trying to keep erotic rock floating around somewhere here because I want to return to it intermittently because it's the weirdest thing I saw today. But what did you actually do? What did you actually do, John? You're an investigator. That's all I need to know. I'm sure you'll tell me more about what you investigated, but now just an image of you, fucking John, with a fucking A PI! Were you a PI, my friend? Were you? Were you that kind of investigator? Please tell me you were. Were you hunting on fraud? Or couples who are philandering? Were you fucking deep on a box outside the fucking bedroom window inside guest houses going, they're not married? Is that what you did, John, for years? It's a dirty job, but it has to be done, John. The grind gets you. And then a Dane walked into your office once and you said, va-va-poo. That's you, by the way, in this situation. She's the kind of figure that makes a man look like a bishop punter monkey. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of Raymond Chandler. Anyway, so you're a PI. You're Blackpool's PI. Oh, fuck, what a fucking ITV drama that is. One last case, John. One last case. A man was found buried under erotic rock. Who killed him, John? He was killed in a rock factory, and he spelled the name of the person who murdered him in rock. That is fucking amazing. You're walking around going, if only he led us to some clue. And we're the oldest going, screaming, look at the fucking rock, you fucking idiot. Look at the rock, for God's sake. Wait a minute. Is that the kind of investigation you did? No, of course not. It was never going to be that way. It was control your disappointment. It's probably something very technical involved in the insurance industry or something like that. Was it that? Or what was it? Accounting. No, because no, it's not just about the guy with the gun at the fucking crime scene. It's also the guy who does the investigative work and goes, wait a minute, this Blackpool can't be spelled with this many letters. They can't be wrong unless he was spelling something different. Unless he wrote something different. You could still be the guy in the background. That's more Channel 4. But the accountant who solves the murder case, that's fucking, there's something in that, John, is there? What kind of thing were you investigating, my friend? Charity fraud? Fuck me, we're back on ITV One. Oh, look at the whole of you just turning up in places and going like whatever. Oh, hey, you couldn't pick that up for me. Ah, you're out of the fucking wheelchair. It's all a lie. Oh shit, John tricked me. Yes, we bring over German orphans who have never been in this part of the world, and we spend money to bring them over. Oh, there's the orphans here. Oh, well, good luck. Thank you. Ah! You're not fucking German at all! That's a great escape. I'm just taking their plot. Look, I'm just doing this fast. We haven't worked out the whole script yet, but look, I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be set in Blackpool, where it's going to be chase up the tower. Can you imagine that fucking episode? Oh, you're fucking up the tower. Yeah, nick that from another thing. That's it. Yeah. Oh, vertigo. It's going to be so good. So you were checking investment charity. And did you find any? Did you find any? Loads. That's sort of depressing, but also well for you. Did they give back the money? You took it off them. Okay, well, it's the same general effect. You took it off them, and oh, was that fun to stand over them as they fucking handed over the cash that they were fucking spending. Oh, they're spending it all. Oh, they're spending it all. Just for themselves, were they? Just keeping it, were they? Cars, drugs, and prostitutes. I have never had an audience member say that to me. In conversation, I've spoken to thousands of audience members on various different jobs, and at no such as any person I have asked led to that fucking list. I've never been a black vote, you're right. Except obviously in 1984 when I came here to see Dara and at no stage did Dara stand there and say at the end of Tokens to us, totally yours, you know what I love? Better drugs than a prostitute now, that fucking sucked me out. Then she went later Christian and the whole thing fucking wasn't so much fun. Anyway, oh, Barrymore. Complicated situation. Anyway, fuck me, John. I didn't like. And I'm loving the fact that you also were very reserved about my boring job. Anyway, sorry. But you took it back off. And with the prostitutes there as well going, oh, fuck, I've been here all day. Do I still keep my. No, you don't. Okay, I'll go. It's good. Excellent. Who are you here with tonight, by the way, John? Hi, Pat. How are you? What's the name? Hi, Diane. How are you? How's it, Diane? What do you do yourself? Oh, you retired? You like he's retired? You're retired as well? Oh, what a life the two of you are leading at this stage. Were you there in the car with the engine running in case you got chased out? With the cars, the drugs, or the prostitutes, they say exactly whatever. Did he mention the cars, the drugs, and the prostitutes at the time, did he? He did, yeah, he'd come home and fuck me. The fucking amount of prostitutes tonight, it was insane. It was fucking coming down with prostitutes. It was more drugs and prostitutes and cars than there was in this thing. But mind yourself, I think it's a very good thing to be doing. I think it's a very good thing to be doing because I do know a story that I can't tell you and it's very, very good. But I can't fucking tell you. Fuck, it's hilarious and involves literally family fortune. I can't fucking tell you. My God, what a fucking story it is. Someday, if I ever meet you, I'll fucking tell you. Can't tell you, can't fucking go. You fucking try to twist my arm. But fuck me. Family fortune, a lot of money, where the fuck did that go? Cars, drugs and prostitutes. What's your name, sir? The man who's shouting for Blackpool there. What's your name, sir? Hey, you David. David, local man? Good man yourself, David. David, what do you do? You're a freelancer. You're like that dabble, do you, David? You don't narrow yourself down to any particular field. You're just freelancer. You're just saying. So all I know is the way in which you bill for work. That's it. I have no idea what you actually do, but I do know you invoice people. That's the fucking vibe. I get here, and that's perfectly fair. But what do you freelance within? Okay, what do you freelance within? You're working in the illuminations department for the council. Are you doing this a lot? Is that your day? How many can you do before you go? Oh no, I've fucking taken them all out now. You delegate that, you have a team of people who are doing the fucking thing. Which fucking way is it? For fuck's sake, Snap! It's this way. It's this way. What's your shorthand for that? Like, is it twisty, nicey, twisty? What's the fucking. It's loosey, it's righty, loosey, lefty, loosey, righty, touchy. Alright, fucking hell, man. Fucking snapshot hog, I'm working for Dave. Fucking hell. Some fucking 17-year-old. Fucking. Going, fuck off, we don't we'll have to do it. Put them all in rather than just fall off into the tram. That's what I'm saying that to you. I'm just saying, the lads are working for you. They're going to be a bit, they'll be tough. So how many bulbs do you have to put on this year? Come on, give me the fucking number. You love the number. How many bulbs are going on this year? You couldn't give me the number. I fucking love it. I love it. If Blackpool Illuminations was a more mysterious event that might or might not happen, David hasn't decided yet. And then you all come out the 1st of October and go, what the fuck? And one tram goes past with one bulb in David's mouth. big bully tan as well. People go, David, where did all the money go? Well, we had to fucking spend it. The tree bulbs are very expensive. And then John goes, that's... One last case for John. I apologize, David, I'm not implying cars or anything else. Who are you here with tonight, David, by the way? Hey, Pat, how are you? What's the name? Hey, Lisa, how are you? Local as well? Good stuff. Lisa, what do you do? Customer service manager, but who are the customers, what they want to buy? For Blackpool Council, so what's that involved? Is that the fucking thing up there as well? Is it the whole thing? Was that those customers? What are the customers doing? What are the customers? Everyone who lives in Blackpool. Oh, these fuckers. Okay, grand. Not me who rides in, fucking whatever. The council don't run venues or anything anymore. This is all, they're all private. Some. Okay, I like the way you're not giving any information. Because you don't want to give information, because John's fucking writing everything down. Every fucking detail. You know that? You know, yes, some fucking venues I'll fucking tell you exactly what they're on. Lisa, he's on to us. Quick, get the tram the other way. You're going one way, he's going the other way. That's the Coronation Street episode all over again. What the fuck was his name? What was his name?
Alan Bradley.
Robert Howard? Alan fucking Bradley. Ah, and poor Rita. Fucking legend. Anyway, that was dramatic. And there we go, yeah. It wasn't the most amazing action sequence you've ever seen. It was not the Fast and the Furious. By any stretch of imagination. But anyway, very good. So, looking forward, I mean, hang on, but are you in charge of the illumination, or are you part of the illumination thing as well? Even though the customers, that's not part of your thing. Not your thing at all, but are you in charge of bins and fucking shit like that? What the fuck did you just say? Wheelie bins, yeah, exactly. Look, that's vital shit. That is vital shit. Busy couple of weeks this week, you know, with all the bank holidays. What day did the bins go today? What day did the bins go? You've fucking no idea, do you? Because it's bank holiday festival in this fucking country at the moment, like whatever. And do you know what happens next Monday? There's another fucking bank holiday. What do you do when you're going and collect the bins yourself at this stage, Lisa, just to get any bins done? Have you noticed that that his bins have a lot of light bulbs in those bins? Trying to get it right. Okay, it never came to you, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, why can't it be about us? Why can't this show be all about us? You just immediately look down, so I'll fucking let you off the hook. Because the amount to which you went, fuck that shit. I have no desire to be part of this process. I shall now look at my shoes. Relax, you're out of the fucking game then, alright? This guy. But him, you think he can fucking handle it? Think he can handle it? You fucking do, don't you? Absolutely. What's your name, champ? How are you, Paul? Good to have you here, Paul. Paul, where are you from? From Blackpool. All the locals buy the fucking tickets, right? Some of them even buy tickets and don't fucking turn up. What's up with these two here? Look, we'll never know. We'll never, because the tickets are sold a while in advance. I mean, you probably bought these a while in advance. And then literally on every gig I do, there's always 2 seats in rows 1, 2, or 3, which are empty because somewhere in the Blackpool area, someone will be doing the washing up and they'll look up and on a magnet, on a fridge, there'll be 2 tickets with a fucking V-shape. And I go, fuck, it was tonight. Not you, however, Paul, you have a sister, and you came here, you absolutely got here like that. Paul, you're from Blackpool, what do you do, my friend? You run buses in a city of trams, you're the man who runs buses. I like that, fucking traditionalist. No one in Coronation has ever been run over by a bus in Blackpool, have they? No, you're very proud of that record. You have a big sign outside saying, number of days since somebody from Coronation Street was run over by one of our buses. And every day you pull it up by 1. Because no one is going to be fucking run over by one of your buses. I'm sorry if anyone here has ever been run over by a bus. Honestly, dodgy thing, because who knows what situation could have occurred like whatever it's gone. But anyway, how do you feel about the trams? They're not part of your thing, are they? Not at all. Can you pop from one to the other on the same ticket though, can you? No. What can I just enjoy you and no. You want to try and fuck off and buy your own ticket. This is a bus. Vroom, vroom, vroom. See this fucking wheel? They don't have a fucking wheel. Go on, Mr. fucking uppy, downy, righty, lefty. Oh, sorry, back to you again. Do they put any bulbs on you for the fucking illuminations? They fucking do not. You wouldn't let them. You fucking grease the sides so they couldn't get traction. They're trying to spin things in and you've taken the grooves off and just going round and round and round. For God's sake, they're trying lefty and righty and loosey and goosey, and nothing is fucking happening. Yeah, I said loosey and goosey because that was in my head. saying a lot of things very fast, and I can't be accounted for what's going on in my mouth, right? Anyway, yes, lefty goosey, righty goosey. I would not operate well in your department, David. I would not do well. They probably don't need this. It's probably all fucking low impact, low wattage ones anyway. And they say, yes, back to me, fucker, the beep beep, bub bub. Do they have that in the tram even? Do they have a ding ding in the front tram even, do they? They do have that, like whatever, yeah, but they're not real buses, are they? They're not. They're like a child version of a bus. I don't know why I'm trying to incite a battle between the bus drivers and the tram drivers. Oh yeah, why don't you try taking a left, you prick? And all the tram passengers going, don't feel bad, we make you feel bad. I can just go up and down. I can't do a turn. I know you can't do a turn, but you're fun and old school. Although they're new now, the trams, aren't they? No, I forgot. You wouldn't give a shit because you're the bus guy, and you've got your only thing to do. Like, what's your favourite route? What's the number one route? The number one. Nice answer. That is the fucking joke that Little Large have been proud of. I've done the entire career. Where's the number one route? Fleetwood. Is it Fleet? Is it Fleetwood? Which is it? Oh, sorry, was that your bus driver's shorthand? Fleet. I go up the Fleet, normally known as Fleetwood to the rest of you, but then it goes back down again. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that was an exciting conversation. I'm glad we had. It's not all gold, my friend. It's not all gold. Just this guy, because I'm loving the look of him, and also his business, and we're having a great chat with that. What's your name, sir? Andy, local as well. Local? I have difficulty with accent, Andy. This is the one I'm planning to use. This is the voice I'm planning to use for the entire gig. Local man, what do you do, Andy? You're a bus driver. Please tell me you arranged these in advance. You hadn't. You're fucking sitting down next to him and oh, fuck me about him all day. I come out for a night out and fucking look who's sitting beside me. Fucking ding ding, Captain Ding Ding over here, right? Mister, I hate the fucking trams. I don't hate the trams. Trams are some of my best friends. Are you a problem with trams? You okay with trams? You don't like them? Oh fuck, I really haven't fucking Do you ever open the doors well and go, fuck off, can you take a turn? You can't turn anywhere. Yeah. You're a fucking lift on the floor. There, I'm very happy with you're a lift on the floor. I want you to repeat that to a tram driver. Are there any tram drivers in the room? How are you? Well. The shit you said about him. Unbelievable things you took advantage of. I'm so sorry you had to hear that. What's your favourite route? That's the one route, isn't it? I'm reducing it too much here, aren't I? Just a minute, okay, fine. I do accept that there's more truth than that. But it is a kind of a funny thing, and I don't want you in any way to take that personally. Oh, never come on, there'll be some insults in my life to come to a show. I can't forget the fucking harsh arrows and slings of the bus industry. And I went to a show, oh, he called me a lift on the floor! Just press the button marked tower and we'll get there. There is, I know, more to it than that. Lovely to have you here, my friend. What's your route? All of them. Of course it is. Thank you, fucking one of them. Along the beach for a while, and maybe turn up at the north bit. Lovely to have you here. Look, you've been a fucking fucking hell. I've got a show to get to. I can't be fucking talking to traditional Bible jobs for the entire night. Not as long as I normally do, chap. I'm fucking loving your work. Very literally, particularly the bus drivers convention, which happened by accident tonight. Do you know each other, by the way? Oh, you don't know each other? Oh my God, you don't know each other. How exciting for you! You've got the rest of the evening to chat about your favourite route. Do you like route number one as well? It's all right, yeah. They're a tetchy bunch, aren't they, the bus drivers? Yeah. Tell me about the tram drivers. You all really close-knit, the tram drivers, are you? Oh, okay, fine. So much backstory. I'm trying to get to a fucking show. This isn't a joke I want to get to right here. But now I've got the idea of the 10th tram driver going, fuck you, John. Don't you go to a show I'm going to tonight. If I find myself sitting next to you, I'll move the chair forward. By one row, you can't catch. Oh, you call over me, fucking hell. Back, forward. Back. What did I want? I want to talk about this. I want to talk about something that you know, the whole, all that time, like when I was gone. Are there any parents in the room tonight? Any parents? Yeah. Any parents of people who were little, would have been in the home for a while during the whole, you know, dark times and all that, who were in the house? Yeah, fucking happy memories, aren't they? Happy fucking memories. I'm sorry for bringing it up like that. I apologise entirely, right? This is the thing. I think there is a tendency to look back over a lot of that COVID stuff, particularly homeschooling, and go, oh, what a fucking terrible time it was. No, what an incredible privilege it was just to spend that amount of time with our. I'm not being serious, lads. I am fucking not being serious. It was a fucking nightmare. I'll give you that. I have a number of kids, right, between 6 and 14. I can never narrow it down. Fucking proper old joke in a great old room. I have a number of kids, right? They should take that on the fucking on the prom. And I have a number of kids, and I was 7 today actually. Oh, I was 7 today. So he was 3, 4 when the whole homeschooling was up, which meant that I got to teach him to read. And can I just say, most parents don't get the chance, because you know they go in school, most parents don't get the chance to sit with their child hour after fucking hour. You see them once a week or so, or maybe in the evening, whatever, like, but fuck me, to get the full dose of teaching a child, there's nothing like it. Oh, I'm just sitting with them and going, we just, yeah, okay, you try. Run, you got there yourself. Run. Yeah, run. Yeah, see? Run. Yeah, run. Yeah. It was run on the previous page as well. A minute ago. Do you not remember all of this? A minute ago. And the page before. Oh yeah. Every page. Every fucking page has been run on during the name of the book, Run Dog Run. Every fucking page. Why aren't you spotting the fucking pattern emerging? There's one more page left. Spoiler alert. There's a fucking run on that page as well. Some people don't have the temperament for teaching. Sometimes it was temperament, sometimes it was a topic. I will say that. My 11-year-old, for example, who's about 8, so during all this period, had to write a little essay about the 1800s. And I said, oh, I know loads about that era. But the 19th century, I know loads about that. Why don't we pool our knowledge together and then we'll see what we come up with. We chatted for a while and he wrote down the best bits of it and then he wrote 10 lines and we emailed it. That's what we had to, on a platform that they had the teacher. And then the response came back and it was lukewarm. I felt it. And I wasn't happy with that, so I contacted the teacher and I said, he didn't seem very impressed with his work. And the teacher said, well, his peers, his cohorts, his classmates, all wrote very positive pieces about the Industrial Revolution or Queen Victoria. But your son's piece was very much more angry about potatoes. some people had a very different 18th century, you know what I mean? That's fine. But what was very sweet was during all this period we had teach our own kids, people would come up to me and there'd be parents in the school or parents right in the street, and they presumed, because you may not remember, they used to do those science programs on the television, and also I've written a number of science books for kids. So people go and go, oh, your kids, oh, they're so lucky for you to be homeschooling them because you love this stuff, and they must be thrilled to have you teaching this stuff because you're so enthusiastic. And they're going, yeah, because that's totally what happens with your own fucking kids. They run to your father, tell me more. I wish only to learn. Your enthusiasm is infectious. You make the subject come alive. They fucking don't do that. And I reassure you. I would imagine David Attenborough's kids would be going, oh, could you fucking shut up about Christ, if you mention polymers one more fucking time, I would agree, right? I would go into the oil industry myself just to fucking finish them off and see them look in their face. That's how much I don't hear about fucking polymers. And look, I occasionally the only useful thing I would do is they would do a maths question, because I like maths as well, and they would come at me with a gap. They'd have the answers and one thing wouldn't be there, and they'd go, what is the answer? And they just point to the question, and I go, ooh, a teaching moment. Well, why don't we flip the values round? See what's really happening here? And they would go, fuck off, just tell me the number to write into the gap. And I can move on with my life. And I feel bad about this. And then I realized that's literally what I did with my own dad. My dad, I go to him when I was 10 or whatever, and I go, how do you spell circumference? Or, obelisk or whatever. Yeah, some big complex word I needed. And my father would look at me and go, how would you spell it? And I would look at him with a gritted teeth, and in my own head go, with an F at the start. 2 at the end, but it's a different era, so I'm not going to say it out loud. And look, in case that makes my father seem very, Victorian or stern or anything like that, not by any such imagination, my father's a very funny man. Still with us, by the way, it's not that show. But he was, my father, for example, has a cartoonist handwriting, which is a really weird character trait. I have terrible handwriting, a big scrawl and thing. His handwriting looks like something from a Beano speech bubble. All really circular letters, really warm and sweet and funny, like jolly kind of thing. His birthday cards are great fun. And he'd draw little cartoons as well, often in weird contexts. For example, because they say the apple does not fall far from the tree. If my father's up late at night when everyone else is asleep, and in the house a box of chocolates had arrived in for whatever reason, right? My father, making sure everyone was asleep, would go to the cupboard when he was on his own. He'd take out the box of chocolates, he would get a blade, he would slice the plastic out of the box of chocolates, he would take the box of chocolates out, he'd lift the lid of the box of chocolates, he'd take the chocolate and the chocolates out, move them to one side, take the bottom layer, the carbon corrugated divider, take that out as well, go to the bottom layer of chocolates, nom 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 nom. Then on the empty tray, he would put a white index card that he'd already drawn a cartoon of a mouse and written the words, the little mouse was here. And he'd put that onto the empty tray, he'd put the divider on top of that, he'd put the chocolates on top of that, he'd close the lid, he'd put it back in again, he'd reseal the plastic, not with sellotape, he's not a fucking amateur, he'd seal it with glue, so it was imperceptible that anything had happened. And then he put it back in the cupboard. And at least twice, my mother then re-gifted the box of chocolates. At least twice. Which I love because it meant at least once my father went to my mother and had to go, I've done it again. But I especially love it. This is a total bonus because about a year ago, I was back in Ireland and I was talking to my mother going, oh look, I'm telling the story on stage about the time that Dad and the box of chocolates and you gave it to somebody else, looking at her expecting a big laugh, and my mother looked at me with this face of thunder. Of a pain she's carried with her for 40 years. My mother looked at me and went, I gave it to the nuns. And for 40 years, my mother has carried in her heart this image of a senior nun, a mother superior going, well, how are the chocolates that Mr. O'Brien kindly donated to the convent? And another nun going, Mr. O'Brien can fuck off straight down. And by the way, sorry, I feel slightly guilty about telling that story because you should know this. My mother is an addict. My mother has a compulsion that has driven her entire life. My mother is addicted to telling stories and then changing the story if the story doesn't get the response she hoped it would. Even if the person the story is about is literally standing next to her at the time. For example, when I was very, very little, I was 6 months old, I had a terrible, near-death experience. I fell into a drain while I was a baby. Right? Don't fucking laugh at that bit. That's serious. I fell into a drain. I was in they were visiting the house that was being built, and it's all uneven surfaces, and I was there sitting on. They put me into the pram, they put the brake in the pram, and in top quality Irish parenting of the 1970s, they fucking walked away. Wandered off, right, and left the baby there. And at some point, the spring on the brake broke, and the brake came up, and the thing was already tilted, and it began to roll. The pram began to roll, and then it tipped. I got tipped out of it into a drain, where presumably, like Andy Dufresne in the Shawshank Redemption, I then crawled my way to a river of shit. What actually happened was that I got tipped over, and then a cousin of ours who was there ran out, saw this, and went, oh my god. And I said, where's the baby? Ran around, found me with little podgy legs sticking out from the drain, pulled me out of the drain, and then I was resuscitated. But still, a scary event for them. And my mother would tell the story often at the time. Oh, we almost lost me, fell into a drain. Oh, so much so, too much, thousands of times. My mother told the story thousands of times. I must have heard it 2,000 times. Every time somebody came out to the house, a friend visited for the first time, every girlfriend I introduced to my mother was told her at the time I fell into the drain. It ended up hardening into like my origin story. Like I was a Batman villain. Like, here we go. Oh, your room's a mess. I'm not surprised. You fell into a drain while you're a baby. Bad Batman movie. But nonetheless, like, oh, you're on the telly being rude tonight. Well, I'm not surprised. You fell into a drain while you're a baby. Right? And she would tell the story often, like whatever. And then one day, like every addict, she went for one hit too many. We had a family get together in Limerick in Ireland, and she's chatting to various family people. She said, all the time, the dark fell into the drain, and I fucking zoned out because Christ, I've heard this too often. And in the middle of telling the story, one of the people there, one of the cousins there went, hang on, no, I was there that day. That's not what happened. And I'm there going, whoa, time fucking out. What is this new information? And my cousin went, yeah, well, I mean, we put you down in the pram. We put the brake in the pram. We walked away. And the brake failed. The pram began to roll. And the wheel of the pram went into a drain. I mean, it's really only a tiny difference if you think about it. And then what happened therefore was the whole thing really went tilted, and then I slid down within the pram, and my head went at the bottom of the pram like that, and my whole body weight on top of it. And yeah, it wasn't a great thing, and somebody found me and gave me a bit of a shake because the lips had gone all purple, so it didn't look good, but it was still not the fucking same thing, right? And actually, what it means is, some say during my childhood, my mother was telling the story of the time that I almost died, was looking at the audience going, this isn't fucking popping the way I'd like it to. And then within a second glance, picked up her own baby and fucked him into a drain. And so I had to turn to my mother at this event and go, what? And my mother genuinely looked at me and went, ah. 30 years she'd been telling the story like this. I said, who would do that? I said, who would take a real event from their life and try it out in front of audiences and change it depending on the audience reaction and make it slightly more punchy? Oh, they don't fall far from the tree. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I got a hell of a story to tell you in the second half. Hell of a story and other stuff to do as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to go get a break. If there's any fucking chance that you, the tram guy and the bus guy's beat, just back the fuck away, alright? We don't need that kind of fight in this situation here, my friend. And make sure any money you spend on drink is your own fucking money. You keep the receipt. You fucking have no stage did you take that money from a common kitty that was given to people because they ran a marathon or something. Because this fucker misses nothing. Go there, get a drink. We'll see you in about 15 minutes time. We'll talk to you later.